Welcome back to the Atoll of Fakarava, my friends. Even though it has only been a couple weeks, we have noticed this is the longest we have stayed in one spot, and it feels good to slow down. We live in a world that moves at such a fast pace, and we too have been bopping from anchorage to anchorage in this arbitrary race around the world. But ever since we completely changed our lives from the 9-to-5 grind, we knew it would take time to unwind from this rat race mentally. As we continually adjust, learning, making mistakes, growing, and then making new mistakes, we can't help but feel really proud. Even the thought of entering this atoll was a daring feat, and here, Alivo sits nobly. This isn't the end of our mistakes. There are sure many obstacles to go, but we feel honored to have made it to the most spectacular phenomenon of land we have ever set eyes on. And we feel very fortunate you are here to come along, through the good times, through the storms, to explore with us, to learn with us, to grow with us. As you saw last episode, we hope we made you laugh with all our wipeouts, but all the falls are what got us to finally learn to fly. Today, we go on another adventure we have never done before. We go spearfishing. Do you think we will come back with dinner? And then there are many more highs and lows as we navigate through this circumnavigation around the world. So come along and let's dive into today's episode.
We're going spearfishing! On a mission around the ocean today. I thought it was common here.
Since we are amateur spearfishers, we had all ears and eyes focused on our gurus we went with and did not bring the camera. It was enough to have to worry about all the gear, learning to load the gun, and challenging ourselves with the breath holds. Connor let me spend the whole session practicing, and I'm happy to say I speared one camouflage grouper. Here you can see the whole haul from the collaboration with the other two experienced spearfishermen. All right, here is the catch. Now, we did not catch all of these. This was a teamwork combo.
This girl doing all the hard work, spearing all the fish, cutting all the fish. She's a real fisher woman, like her daddy. Look at all these fillets. So the local tip is to wait to see if there's going to be any flies on these. And if the flies won't touch it, then you shouldn't touch it either. But we don't get very many flies out at the boat, so that's going to be a difficult test for us to perform here. So, I don't know. Do we take it to the beach and try to feed it to the dogs? Show me that filleted fish. She did a pretty good job. Not too much meat left. Can't get too deep into that because that's where the guts are.
Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Go, sharkies.
Look at that haul right there. Good job.
So Connor refuses to eat any of the fish. So here we are. I cooked it in like lemon and garlic, and here we go. There's flies everywhere, so I think that's a good sign. Bomb. We'll see how I do in a few hours. The reason I said that is because of the risk of ciguatera. If you're not aware, ciguatera is a foodborne illness caused by consuming fish contaminated with a toxin produced by certain algae in tropical and subtropical reef areas. These algae are consumed by smaller fish, and as larger predatory fish eat the smaller fish, the toxins accumulate. And cooking, freezing, or smoking a contaminated fish does not eliminate the toxin. You can get gastrointestinal symptoms like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or abdominal cramps, and symptoms can range from mild to severe and can occur within 1 to 48 hours post-consumption. That's the reason Connor refused to eat any of the fish. But I knew that if the local divers came here with their spearfisher students, they wouldn't have advised me to shoot the fish I did. I will say, they advised us to go for the medium-sized camouflage grouper instead of the larger ones, just to be safe. All in all, I'm happy I wasn't hunched over dying a few hours later. If you want more details about this, Spirit Animal just did a recent episode on this. I'll link it in the description below.
Well, the new solar setup is killing it. We're topped off right now. We're trying to run the ice maker and everything else just to kind of use some of this free power that we're working with. I got it on both sides, and before I had done it where it was just a 2x4 or something propping up from the bottom, and now I got these nice little paracord strings here, and all I have to do is pop that and I can drop it down, or pull on it and I can lift it up. I got to give it a little assistance manually to get it to come back up, but yeah, see, the sun is pointed over there, so I'm just gonna drop these down and point them directly at it. Well, it's a bit windy today, but we can't stay here forever, so we got to do some projects. Yeah, this is what we're working on today.
You may remember in the previous episode when our headsail almost came crashing down. It was time to finally fix it so we could sail again. So I hoisted Connor up the mast. It turned out to be just a loose shackle that had completely come undone. Luckily, it wasn't the halyard that had broken. That would have been a real pain to fish down the mast. He replaced that shackle with one that was slightly undersized, but would work for the short sail to Tahiti. When he got up to the top of the mast, he did find another issue that could have been devastating. The pin for the halyard sheaves had worked its way out. This was due to a broken bolt, so instead of trying to extract the old broken bolt, he simply tapped a new threaded hole in the mast and screwed in a new bolt. On top of that, he found that half of the bushing at the top of the furler extrusion had come out, so he ended up shoving a hose in there to act as a temporary bushing. Thank goodness for this monkey. We would not be able to sail without you.
Snug as a bug in a rug. It's got a haircut by this little thing here. Happiness doing yoga. Look at this surrounding. Emptied the jerry cans into the main fuel tank, and it looks like we used a little bit more than 35 gallons since we left Mexico, so that's you know, more than we hoped to burn, but I think pretty good comparatively to most other boats. They're all kind of fully filling their tanks here in Fakarava, so we're doing pretty good. We got maybe 4 inches down on the main fuel tank, which is 100 gallons, so not too bad. And it's 25 inches deep or something. And after I filmed that, I just stuck my finger in there, and we are like 1 inch down on that. So I think we might have burned less than 35 gallons the entire time we've been here since Mexico. We're doing great. This is how I check. We just have a little inspection hatch right here, and it looks kind of deep in there, but oh, that's full. That's fuller than we left Mexico, I'm pretty sure, because I was scared because it comes out really fast from their machine, so I didn't want to overfill it. That sound that you hear in the background is the sound of free water. We are making about 1,000 watts in solar right now, maybe even a little bit more. I think, yeah, 1050 or so, if you add that up. Sorry, I'm not great at math on the go. Our new solar setup is working great. We made water yesterday and maintained voltage. Now we're making water again. We'll do this for a couple hours a day now. You like my new hairdo? Malvina loves it.
I think he needs a haircut. He can't, how do you see? He's almost able to do this. Woo! Solar! Water!
No ciguatera, feeling good, so time to soak up all the fun on our last day. Even without a court, we dug up our pickleball paddles and just rallied, laughed, and enjoyed our last day before moving anchorages. This spot has been absolute magic. We have had a really hard time leaving. We are taking off. All right, the shade didn't do very hot. Check this out. This is exactly what you do not want to happen to your chain. We are heartbroken to have left a mark on the coral, and we will have to pay some big consequences later for this rookie mistake. You will hear more about it in a future episode. But thankfully, since we are only in 25 feet of water, I was able to dive the chain and loosen it up, and then guided Connor to drive Alivo opposite of how she got there. Took a while, but we got it done.
I think we did the right thing this time.
Yeah, so as you can tell probably from here, hopefully you can tell that there are a lot of coral heads, a lot of bommies, and so we found a really nice patch to drop the anchor, and we set 3 buoys. Can we call them buoys now because they're in the water?
I think they are called buoys.
They are now buoys, but they are our fenders. And we're super close to this reef, which is scary because you can tell there's a few spots over here that are super shallow. But we're just gonna keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens.
We're in 25 feet of water and we got 125 about of chain now.
We most likely got wrapped around that bommie at the last anchorage because we did not use enough buoys, so we wanted to be extra careful. To make sure we didn't get wrapped up again, you see we float the chain, this time using 3 or 4 fenders for buoys, like you see here, here, and here. And this time, it worked great.
So beautiful. It's almost like we have our own little remote island right here. Everyone else is kind of way back there. We always try to be little outsiders. Stay off the beaten path just a little bit.
Off we go to explore our own private island.
We hope.
Malvina looks like she belongs on a private island, doesn't she?
Why is it you say that?
Because you got your fancy bikini on.
It's my bachelorette bikini.
Yeah. Unfortunately, our new private island does not have a dinghy dock, so we have to anchor it, and the waves are kind of washing it into the shore. But luckily, we have a crappy dinghy, so we don't really care that much. We're gonna go find some freaking coconuts right now. I got my machete. Malvina's already stealing coral from the French Polynesians.
No, I'm just looking.
Look at this. Gigantic hermit crab. Just almost stepped on him. Oh, you're a big guy, aren't you? I think you outgrown your shell. Are these coconut crabs? They seem to be liking the coconuts. Ooh, another one.
What do you like? What are you trying to do?
Trying to knock a coconut off the tree. Boy. Not as easy as it looks. That's the saying for the week.
Oh, you think?
I found some mini coconut crabs. Picked apart that whole coconut. Didn't save any for us.
The path paradise. big bonfire. Connor's doing. I think he's trying to get a coconut from the coconut tree by throwing rocks at it. Write your comment below if this is appropriate to do to a poor little palm tree. Ah! This is the one.
We will admit, we got pretty stressed out choosing where to drop the anchor next after having it caught at the last one. It was the last thing we wanted to have done again. But whenever we feel all heightened, the best thing for both of us is to go out in nature, off the boat, and put our feet on the earth, and just play like kids. It immediately calms us down. We always do a little check-in with each other and making sure we didn't say anything to hurt the other person's feelings in the heat of the moment, and having this time to cleanse any negativity, and it immediately gets us back on track.
So it turns out throwing rocks at coconuts does not knock them off the tree for the most part. I hit a couple of them square right in the center of the coconut, and it didn't even budge.
Maybe next time you need your harness
maybe
and a
next
halyard.
time. Ooh, good idea.
And then I'll hoist you up.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, friends. If you are still here with us, comment the word sinking in the comments below.
Noticing the bilge alarm going off for a little while. Not sure what it is exactly, but we did find one culprit today.
We're going above and beyond, making some crazy contraptions to run a recon mission so we avoid at all possible costs of running into the reef and sinking. We are terrified, but lots of this cruising life has come with terrifying moments. So come along with us next week to work through the challenges together. It's moving day. Pump up. Ready? Will we end up like this and our whole adventure comes to an unfortunate end? Or do you think we'll make it out to the other side and beyond?
Oh my god, this is so scary. I'm like shaking. You know that we gotta get used to this, but I do not like this much water underneath us. There's like maybe getting close to 10 feet.
First and foremost, we want to give a huge thank you to all our supporters. We so appreciate you and are amazed at your generosity. If you want to also help support our journey, check us out on Patreon. There's a link below in the description. Or if it's easier, scan your phone right now on the QR code that's right here on the screen. Now make it a great day and see you next episode.